Before we get to today's prophecy update, I want to mention, chiefly for the benefit of those who weren't with us last week, that in the update last week, we dealt with Christians voting in this year's presidential election. I mention it now because of the breaking news concerning the FBI reopening its investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server just 11 days before the election. This is really quite stunning. Now, please know that I'm keenly aware of those who suggest that there may not be an election, and that this recent development makes that scenario even more plausible, and I can see how someone could get there. However, I'm still of the belief that prayer on the part of God's people is moving the hand of Almighty God. And I say that because it's evidenced by the warfare in the spiritual realm. This is the likes of which I have never seen in my lifetime. I know that God's people are praying, and not just in America. God's people are praying for America, and especially now, because they see what is happening. And I gotta believe that God, true to his word, will hearken unto the voice of our cry for mercy. This is how I am specifically praying, is that God will be merciful to this nation in the days ahead. It was kind of interesting. I was talking with a brother before the service, and I'm watching these political pundits trying to explain and comment and give their take on what's happening, and they are just as baffled as anybody else is. This is now it has created some speculation on the part of those who believe that there's a reason for this, and it may not be the reason we think. And again, I get that, but here it is again, but God, okay? But God. The powers to be, and I don't want to sound like, like this is a conspiracy theory thing, but the powers to be, who, as some suggest, select the president, not elect the president, don't you believe that God has the final say on that? It is not God who is omniscient and omnipresent and omnipotent, all-powerful, able to see this through and have the final word on this? Of course he is. Nothing is too hard for the Lord. Could it be that everything is being exposed, everything is coming to a head? And this, by the way, I cannot even begin to tell you, and I think you know, for the most part, how serious this is. This is so serious. And the jury is out on how this will work out. There are those who are very fearful. I'm not. I'm not fearful. I really believe that God is a merciful God, and God will be merciful. And I also believe, and I don't want to take too much more time on this, but I want to encourage you with this. I also believe that God is doing something in the spiritual realm. Because I really believe that like I talked about last week, our battle is not against flesh and blood. It's not Republican against Democrat. It's not Muslim against Christian. It's not that. Our battle is against 4 specific powers and entities of darkness, the kingdom of darkness. That's what's going on here. There is a battle in the spiritual realm for the souls of men, and we're seeing the hand of Almighty God. intervene on behalf of his people because his people have prayed. So please, two things: pray and vote. Pray and vote. Pray and vote.